You can't just be the Pope and then say the F word.
Well, that's what
you're like. Oh, I wouldn't. Nah, he's gay.
There's a lot of people within the Catholic Church that are gay in the Vatican City.
I don't think he even believes in God. Hello and welcome to A Gay and a Non-Gay. I'm James Barr. I'm gay.
Yes, I'm Dan and I'm non-gay. Well,
Hi, Dan.
we start these days with things that non-gays can't say. This is where gay people are represented by James, who answers the questions.
Yeah, I'm the gay representative.
Yeah, of non-gays who are channeling their questions through me.
This one's from Josh in Glasgow.
How do you know if you're gay if you've never been with a woman?
Well, I mean, let's flip this, Dan. How do you know you're straight if you've never been with a man?
Because I know that I don't want to do that.
Yeah, but how do you know?
Because I just do.
Interesting. So I guess that answers your question,
Yeah.
then, doesn't it, Josh?
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny that people ask that. Like, how do you... I wonder if Josh is asking that because he isn't sure whether he's gay.
Maybe.
Maybe you are gay, Josh, if you're thinking about it. I mean, you're not. Maybe you're bi. Who cares anyway? It's all nonsense. You don't have to be anything. Just go and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want to do in the moment.
Yeah.
As long as it's consensual. And let yourself be free. But it's funny because, like, you don't... I mean, this is ridiculous, but how do you know that you don't fancy hedgehogs unless you have sex with a hedgehog? Do you know what I mean?
Well, 'cause that's bestiality, right?
Well, yeah, of course. But how do you know you've never done it?
Because you don't have to do everything to know that.
I personally don't want to sleep with a hedgehog, obviously.
You don't have to do everything to know that you don't want to necessarily do it.
Right. You just know whether you want to do it or you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So how do you know if you're gay if you've never been with a woman? Well, the answer is...
Well, I guess...
The same way you know that you don't fancy a hedgehog.
Well, I don't know why you keep...
I just couldn't think of it.
Borderline uncomfortable.
Well, it's not because it's a hedgehog.
Right.
Because you can't... No one's having... No, I'm just trying to think of what's a better example? Okay, an ironing board. Like, how do you know you don't want to go to bed with an ironing board? You just know, don't you?
I mean, I've never thought about it.
Same. I'm just trying to...
Maybe I would.
Well, it might be quite...
Maybe I would. It's the...
Depends how hard you like the bed, I suppose.
It's the same sort of size as a person, right? So...
Yeah. And I guess if you think about it, you could... You know when it's flat, the legs sort of stick out, don't they? Like a double ender. So you and a friend could jump on.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe I should go out with an ironing board. Anyway, this really took a turn.
Yeah, anyway.
Thanks for your question, Josh. I hope that's answered your question.
Yeah.
How do you know if you're gay if you've never been with a woman?
Yeah.
Well...
You don't.
Right, let's talk about the Pope.
His Holiness...
I don't know if I want you to call him that.
Well, that is his official...
No, I'm not sure. I think he is the holy anymore.
Well, that's his official term.
His Holiness.
Yeah, I mean, the same way people say His Majesty and her... I mean, I don't personally say it, but people do say that. Does the Pope deserve that level of respect after what he's done? I don't know, but anyway, that is what he's referred to.
So, listen, we're a bit late to the Pope party here, but the Pope said faggot in a meeting with his bishops.
Yeah, I think it was actually...
and then a bishop leaked that to the press. And then presumably the Pope has then bashed the bishops, thank you, and had a go at this bishop for leaking this, but has had to apologise.
Right.
For saying the word frociagini.
Sounds like a...
But you know, in English, that means smoothness.
Okay.
Which actually isn't offensive, but apparently it's a very offensive Italian slur, which means faggot.
Right. Well, it makes me want to eat some pasta.
Does it? Have you seen that meme of the pasta?
Yeah, something like
Faggottini.
Yeah, something like that. I've seen that. I'm really hungry, actually. I could do it. It sounds like, really, really nice sort of Italian pasta dish, doesn't it?
Sounds meaty.
Yeah, well,
doesn't
possibly,
it?
yeah.
Yeah. With a lot of cream, I'd say.
Yeah,
which
maybe.
Actually isn't very Italian. Italian don't make pasta with cream. That's quite...
Oh, really?
No, you shouldn't really... Like a carbonara with cream. No way. It has to be egg.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were
egg only.
Michelle Roux Jr. over here.
Who? Is she even Italian?
It's a he and no. Anyway.
I'm not offended by this. Should I be offended by this? I think this is... I'm going to go out, actually, and say this is probably the least homophobic or offensive thing the Pope has ever done. ever.
Oh, and what's the top?
I mean, calling homosexuality a sin is worse than just saying the word faggot, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Or, it's the same thing.
Condemning homosexual acts in general, I think, is worse than saying the word faggot. I mean, me and my fag friends say that word all the time to each other. And I know that that's okay because we are... Sorry for saying this word so much. I know a lot of gay people hate it. I know that we are faggots, so we can say the F word.
I do kind of disagree with you, actually. I think this is worse, yeah.
How come?
Because at least when he's saying homosexuality is a sin or whatever, he's doing that to some extent because that is like the... That's the script, right?
Yeah.
So
but it's a shit script.
Well, yeah, but whether he likes it or...
And it's made up.
Whether he agrees or not, that is... I can understand why he's, to some extent, got to go along with that. Whereas this is actually in a whole other element.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why?
This is just using an offensive term for the head of it, for the crack.
Yeah.
So that is worse, I think, than being within a system which... Because by all accounts, actually, the Pope is quite pro moving the church forward.
Well,
and
I mean...
For example, he has like allowed... same-sex couples to be blessed and whatnot.
Yes.
So to some extent, he is moving in that direction, but he is constrained by the system, right? But there's no system that's making him say the F word.
Yeah, because in 2013, he said, if a person is gay and seeks God and has goodwill, who am I to judge?
Yeah.
Which is a pretty bold thing for the Pope to say over 10 years ago, especially. But just, I mean, it's just a word, isn't it? Like... The reason he said it was because he didn't want any gay priests, basically.
Yeah, he's failed with that.
He basically said in the church there's room for everyone. Nobody is useless. Nobody is superfluous. There's room for everyone, just as we are, all of us, right? That's what he said. But then what he's apparently said in this meeting is that gays should not be allowed to become priests.
And also in 2018, he told Italian bishops to carefully vet priesthood applicants and reject anyone suspected of being gay.
But you're right. From our very limited research, I think we read one book.
I've done some quite comprehensive research. There was, and there's
a lot of gays. There's a lot of fags in the church.
Insane amount of allegedly gay people within the church.
And isn't the quote that there would be serious operational problems?
There'd be serious operational problems where they ought to leave the church.
Right. Yeah. So it's a bit offensive, I suppose. That's probably why it's been leaked. I imagine this bishop that leaked this
is gay.
It's gay. I reckon the bishop's gay.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Otherwise, why would he leak that?
Well, he might be an ally.
Nah, come on, that's a bitchy gay.
Might be an ally.
No, allies don't. I love you. I know you like to think allies are really great people, but you don't really always stand up for what's right. Sometimes you just don't see it. I don't think that's an ally bishop. A bishop that's an ally? No way. As if. It's a secret gay.
Well...
It's a secret gay going, I know, I'll get him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get her.
He's got him. He was forced to apologise, but he did the thing where you apologise to people who feel offended rather than saying it.
Yeah, that's the problem I suppose I have with it. He hasn't apologised for saying it. He's just apologised if you're offended.
Yeah.
Which is abuse, by the way. Right. Like, I am offended and you have been offensive, so you should apologise. And actually, you should apologise to God because you called one of his children
he is doing it.
A faggot.
Maybe he's doing that.
Do you think he's doing that privately?
Privately.
I don't think he even believes in God.
I think he probably does.
I'd be murdered for saying that.
I think he probably does.
Do you think so?
Well, why else is it?
Well, okay. You're the Pope, right? You're the top man. What is it you called him? His Holiness on Earth, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah. He's there at the altar. Yeah. He's the one with the ear to God, right? If God's going to talk to anyone, it's going to be the Pope, isn't it? Right? If you're God and you're in heaven and you want to send a message to your children on earth, the only person you're going to communicate with really, out of everyone, all billions of people on earth, is the Pope.
Assuming that God is a Catholic.
Right, of course. That's a whole other level of issues. But say that God is a Catholic. God is a Catholic, right? Yeah. Who's he going to talk to? He's not going to ring me up, is he? He's not going to blow up your phone. He's going to speak to the Pope. Yeah. So you're the Pope, and there you are in the Sistine Chapel, and you hear nothing, and God isn't talking to you. Yeah. Because he's not hearing voices, is he? Otherwise, he'd be struck off for being crazy. So, or is he? Or do you think God actually is talking to the Pope?
Well, I don't know, because if he was, and he was saying, you've got this all wrong about the gays, it's fine. Yeah. Then the rest of the... Or
God was saying, no, actually, I was right.
Yeah.
In the beginning, there was Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. What you doing, mate? Then he wouldn't have the progression of the church. That the church wouldn't be changing its values, would it?
Yeah.
Because God would. So does God change his mind? Is that what we're saying? Otherwise, why is the Pope spouting this nonsense about gays being welcome? Because God would surely be condemning that if that's what God really thought.
Yeah.
And if that isn't what God really thought, why is this the Pope that did it and not the original Pope? Surely the first Pope would have been like, oh, God, sorry, I've got that wrong. Thanks for explaining the Bible to me. Sorry, everyone. I've had a word with God, and gays are fine.
Yeah. Well, I guess because
let them in.
Then, as in now,
but none of those faggots, but the gays are okay.
Then, as now, there's this apparatus within the Catholic Church that's just not going to allow that. And actually, it does allow it to go on because clearly, and this isn't hearsay, by the way. If you're listening, this is like demonstrable fact.
This is hard facts.
That they are gay. There's a lot of people within the Catholic Church in Rome that are gay in the Vatican City.
Yeah,
there is. Everybody knows that. There's plenty of research being done about it. And generally speaking, they're happy with it as long as it's behind closed doors.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on.
That is wrong, not because they're gay, but because they shouldn't be having sex behind closed doors. Sorry, you didn't say they were, but I imagine they are. You shouldn't be having sex with anyone, right? If you're a Catholic.
If you're in the priesthood.
Priest, right? So, I mean, that's why a lot of gay people go into the priesthood. Lest we forget, because they don't want to have sex with men because they think it's wrong.
Yeah.
So they are gay and a priest.
Yeah.
And then they don't have sex with men.
Yeah.
They just follow the vow of celibacy.
Yeah.
Because they're dating God or whatever. So
yeah,
lovely.
Yeah.
But I don't know why you wouldn't have more gay priests keeping those awful faggots off the street. You know what I mean?
That's a good point, actually.
Like,
that's
get them in the priesthood.
That's a good point. You would think that it was. Well, here's what's going on. But you would think that would be a sort of slam dunk of a system, right? These guys are gay, but look what's going on. You do get that. To be fair, you do get that on the evangelical side, don't you? With conversion therapy and whatnot.
Yeah.
So you do get that over that side. But I guess because it doesn't work, and it's not a good idea to be celibate. You know, for all sorts of reasons. That's why they don't, bang on about it as being some sort of success.
Interesting that you think it's the most offensive thing the Pope's ever done.
No, I didn't say that, but I think it is more offensive than what he's
condemning homosexuality for the
last. I do. Yeah, because
2,000 years.
Everybody does that, don't they?
Oh, okay then.
No, but throughout human history, that's been done, hasn't it? And at least that's been done in a diplomatic way, whereas dropping.
Sorry, that's not homophobia isn't diplomatic.
Well, it's on a spectrum, isn't it? Of diplomacy. Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Well, it's more diplomatic than dropping the F-bomb.
Why is it diplomatic?
Because as we sort of got into, he's dealing within a system that is how it is, right?
What's diplomatic about that? Isn't diplomacy meant to be like? What does that mean?
Well, diplomacy is trying to manage everything and everyone, isn't it?
I don't know, because. Yes, words have power, but it doesn't have as much power as a sweeping statement about homosexuality being a sin.
Yeah.
Just randomly saying, oh, can we not let any more faggots into the priesthood?
Well, on the most basic...
It's also very exclusively about one part of the church. It's not a sweeping statement that affects millions of people. Yeah. It only affects the odd Fagotini priest.
Yeah.
So it's annoying for them.
Yeah.
But, so I think it is worse.
Well, but also, is anybody in any position of power should be dropping those kind of words, be it the Pope, be it a CEO,
no, it is funny though. Do you know why it's funny? Do you know why I like it?
Yeah.
Not because I think it's okay, because obviously I don't think it's okay. Why I think it's funny is that it exposes the absolute hypocrisy and nonsense of the Catholic Church to me.
Yeah.
It just exposes all of it.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's funny.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's absolutely excellent.
Yeah.
Because it shows you that even God's person on earth, his holiness, has said a slur.
Yeah.
And a person that close to God shouldn't be saying a slur about anyone. It's like him saying the N-word. It's like the Pope dropping the N-word. It's as offensive as that. That's hilarious. You can't do that. You can't just be the Pope and then say the F word.
Well, that's what I'm... Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that it's great. It's actually a gift to the community.
Yeah.
Because it shows up the whole thing for being fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
It's an absolute joke. So I love it for that. And that's why I think it's not as bad as him saying something sweepingly homophobic. Because that has more power. This loses him all of his
credibility,
juicy little respect and God credibility.
You know what?
Mwah, chef's kiss. Love it.
You know what I find funny is this has obviously been a big news story, but the news aren't allowed to say what the word is.
Oh, right. What have they been saying?
That he used an offensive slur. I only found out this morning what it was.
No way.
Because I've been hearing it on the radio and on the TV and whatnot, but for some reason, and like, I get it. I guess you can't just say it, but you do need to know what the word is to have
You can say the F word.
Yeah, but a lot of people are gonna jump to the F-U-C-K word,
right,
and just think it's like fucking gays instead of this one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which you do need that context.
I think it's wild, and I love it, and I love the memes. It's time for the Pope's favourite feature on our podcast. Yeah. It's called Fagony Aunt. Yeah. Thank you for your messages. You can get in touch with us at any time through one of our many glorious social channels. Yes. Just search a gay and a non-gay. I'll read this one, shall I, Dan?
Sure.
It's from one of yours. Hi, Dan and James. I'm a straight woman in my 30s, and I've been dating my boyfriend for 2 years. Things have been great, although I recently found out Mark has been flirting with one of his male co-workers. He says it's harmless, but I've seen the messages, and they seem a bit too flirty for my comfort. He's never mentioned being interested in men before, and now I'm questioning if there's more to this. Is it normal for straight guys to flirt with each other as a joke? Should I be concerned? Thank you.
I don't do that.
I don't do that, mate. No, I wouldn't do that.
I don't. It's what it is.
That's not what she said.
Hey? Yeah, it literally is. No, that is what she said.
Is it normal for straight men to do this? And your immediate response is, I don't do that. No, I would never do that.
Yeah, so I don't know what you're getting at, because she's asked the question and I've answered it. I don't do that. Just... I'm like reasonably representative to some extent of the population as a whole.
As a whole? You mean the non-gay population?
Yeah.
I don't think that's fair. I think you're probably reasonably representative to straight white men in this country.
Right.
From Solihull.
Right.
As a whole.
So, yeah, but she's not... She's asking us, right? So I don't do that. I don't really think anyone I know really does that. I know people do it down the football or whatever, but I don't really do that. So... It isn't normal, no.
Down the football or whatever.
Yeah.
This is so funny hearing you be straight.
Well, people do. People like get well excited when, you know.
I mean, straight men kiss each other, no?
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
My friend Chris is pretty.
I'm not kissing anyone. Do you know what I mean? I'm not doing it to girls either. So.
Not even your girlfriend.
Well, I never see her. So, but when everyone but that person, yeah. So yeah, it is. This bloke's gay, basically.
What? No, you can't say
or
that.
Or bisexual, or whatever.
I don't think that's fair, Dan.
So
no, that's not okay.
Well,
you can't say that.
Why?
Because you don't. Well, you hardly know anything about him other than this one email.
Yeah.
And so you can't say that. He might be bi.
Yeah. Okay.
He might be bisexual.
Yeah.
He could be just exploring. Maybe he literally just having fun. Like.
Yeah, but then it's like.
I always think.
It's not. It wouldn't be appropriate if he was doing it to a woman, would he? So, therefore,
I always think in these situations, I think the scary thing is that you're worried about it, regardless of your boyfriend, like whether or not he might be bisexual or gay or whatever. Like, forgetting that, you're concerned that he is flirting with someone else. Yeah. So take out the sexuality bit. Yeah. That's the real problem here. So why are you worried about your boyfriend? What is upsetting you about that? Do you not feel like you're enough? Is he not making you feel special? Do you no longer feel like this relationship is working? If you're getting paranoid about who he's texting, then I think there's an issue in your relationship. And the issue isn't whether or not your boyfriend is gay. The issue is that you're insecure and you don't feel confident and safe in your relationship. So, in my opinion, you need to bring that up, and then you need to probably pack up and find someone that makes you feel amazing and fulfills your self-worth in a way that you deserve.
Okay.
I hope that's helpful.
All right. Well, thanks.
My answers are always so much better than you, aren't they? You're like, oh, I wouldn't. Nah, he's gay. Oh, nah, I wouldn't. Nah, not me. And there I am like, girl, you need to do better.
Well, you could look at it like that, or you could look at it like, well, I've just answered it within a few seconds, and then we can move on.
I think you should have replaced Bobby on Queer Eye, to be honest. When they fired Bobby,
which I think I don't know. I don't watch.
It doesn't matter, but you should have been. They should have swooped you in,
right,
and given it a bit of a non-gay edge.
Well, they do. I mean, it's annoying that this won't get commissioned, but we've sort of.
Yeah, we should be doing that.
We have pitched that numerous times.
Yeah, because people don't like non-gays.
Yeah, but
there's too many non-gays on TV, and they don't want to make anything straight anymore.
There's so much fanning around on that program that they could do without. It does actually, ironically, it does need.
It's quite a gendered word.
It's not. It does sort of need someone
straight.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'd quite like to go to. There's quite a lot of gay problems that I could be of help with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. For sure.
If only Channel 4 would.
Other than fashion or home improvements.
Yeah, but you say that about fashion, but actually, I could save a lot of people a lot of time by saying you're putting way too much emphasis on how people look.
Right.
So you don't.
Yeah, but it's not really. You haven't really watched it, have you? Because it's not just that. It hardly has any emphasis on how people look, actually.
Well, no, but
I'm saying way more about how they feel about their self-worth and their relationships and how they connect with the world around them, more than it is about what they're wearing.
Well, when you said fashion, that's...
Well, okay, but...
Is that not...
No, that's just what you think of the show, though, isn't it?
What?
Well,
No, I don't. That's what I think of society generally.
Right, okay, cool.
And do you not think that gay people fall under that category?
What, that we like fashion?
That there's a big emphasis on how people look.
Yeah, I love it.
Right.
Yeah.
I personally...
And I look really hot, thank you for saying.
I personally don't...
Oh my God, are you flying with me?
No. Anyway...
Thank you for listening. Don't forget, you can catch us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Follow us. We are at Gay NonGay. You can watch our full interview with the 2024 Eurovision winner Nemo on our YouTube channel, which now has nearly 2,000 followers.
Yeah, we've got some insane views on some of this stuff that's doing the rounds at the minute, which is kind of weird, isn't it? I guess it's good, but it's also weird.
Why is it weird?
Well, because my phone just doesn't stop going off.
Oh, you need to turn off your notifications.
With people going like, oh, the straight bloke thinks this or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, on stuff that's been out for weeks.
Yeah, well, that's the internet, isn't it?
At this point.
Just, like, chases you. Won't ever let you go.
I don't know. Normally when I put stuff out, it has a shelf life, but apparently...
I'm getting hate from 2015 over here.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. We will see you soon. Goodbye.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.